Alright, let's talk about brains. I got a brain, you got a brain, he got a brain, we all got brains. And in this case, we're going to be dissecting a sheep's brain. A key difference between a human brain and the sheep's brain is its orientation. Humans are bipedal and sheeps are quadrupedal. But Sean is a whole nother conversation. The sheep's spinal cord is caudal, meaning it comes straight out of the back or aligned to its eyes, sort of like a tail, compared to human spinal cord where it points inferiorly or towards the ground. Another major difference is the size of the olfactory bulb or the cranial nerve number 1. Sheep's cranial nerve is about 2 to 3 times larger compared to humans because sheeps need it for survival. Sheeps can differentiate different smell far more than what humans can do. They use their sense of smell to find their family or to smell if there are any nearby predators. With that being said, let's go to our first checkpoint, which is the external anatomy of a sheep's brain. Right here, we can see the pia mater, the right and left cerebral hemisphere, gyri and sulci. Gyri are the bumps and sulci are the globes. And then this one is the longitudinal fissure. And if you are familiar with the bones of the skull, then this should be a breeze, because they both have the same name, which are frontal lobe, parietal lobe, temporal lobe, and occipital lobe. Moving on to the cerebellum, the olfactory bulbs and tracts, the optic nerves and or chiasm, the midbrain, pons, medulla oblongata, the decussation of pyramids, anterior median fissure, and lastly, the spinal cord. Just a side note that the spinal cord was cut and not present in this brain. If it was present, then it would be right around here. We are now going to gently pry the hemispheres apart at the longitudinal fissure or directly in the middle. What you are currently looking at right now is called the corpus callosum. It is like a bridge that connects the left and the right side of the brain. Since it is in the middle, that is also where the information is transmitted from one side to the other. Alright, let's cut straight into the brain using a scalpel. And now to our second checkpoint. Here is now the hemispheres in the sagittal plane, or the cross-section of the brain. The internal anatomy of a sheep's brain. Here we can observe the cingulate gyrus, the corpus callosum, the lateral ventricle, fornix, the third ventricle, pineal gland, the optic chiasm and or nerve, the thalamus and the hypothalamus, the mammillary body, the fourth ventricle, the cross-section of midbrain, which includes the superior colliculus and the inferior colliculus, the cross-section of pons, medulla oblongata, and the cerebellum. Lastly, we are now going to cut the cerebral hemisphere in the frontal plane, or simply front and back. Here, we can look closely to the gray matter, the cerebral cortex, and also the white matter. And just like that, we are done. You and I successfully dissected a sheep's brain. So what did we learn here? Brain is a complex organ that have a lot of parts. That is where we make and control our thoughts, our movements, and even how and when to breathe. So check it out. Your brain is powerful, so use it.